Hi everyone, my name is Noah, and welcome back to Journey Above the Poverty Line. Today, I am sharing with you my 2026 binders. For those that are new to my channel, I am using the cash envelope system for zero-based budgeting. So this binder system is how I manage my money, and every peso has a purpose and a clear job. So let's go ahead and start off with my main binder, which is the light gray one. So this is basically my expense binder. This houses my monthly expenses like groceries, credit cards, and other expenses. I chose the sturdy binder because this one is used the most and needs to last all year. Inside my expense binder, there are tabs. I have here the bills tab and another one for the variable expenses. So let's go through the cash envelopes, starting off with the bills. So bills are basically those utilities that I have to pay, and for the most part, these expenses are fixed. So for bills, I have here electricity, water, internet, subscriptions. And if you notice, most of my cash envelope categories are straightforward. For subscription, this includes Apple Storage, Apple Music. So basically subscriptions that I have. Atome is basically my credit card. In my old binder system, I only have one cash envelope dedicated for a credit card. But for 2026, I decided to separate them because I have two cards. I have Atome and I have East West. So separating them is easier for me. And then the last cash envelope under bills is debt. So if I have debts that I had to pay outside my credit card, it goes here. Let's proceed to variable expenses. These are the expenses that varies. The amount can go up or down depending on the need for that cutoff or that month. Starting off the variable expenses, I have groceries here and palenque, the next one. They're pretty much, if you're to think about it, they're pretty much the same. But I kind of separated them because in my head, when I say groceries, it would require me to go to a grocery store to purchase items. And palenque are mostly for those wet markets or talipapa, mostly meats, fresh meats and fish and vegetables. Next is drinking water. Household. This envelope is dedicated to anything that I have to purchase that is not part of groceries in palenque. So mostly laundry items, cleaning items, toiletries. Pet care, straightforward for my dogs. Their food, treats, vitamins, and all that. Miscellaneous, if I just have extra, I put it here just in case I need extra money for other categories. The cash envelopes that I have here are labeled, and each category is separated. So I will always know exactly where my money is going. This helps me stay intentional and avoid overspending. You might have noticed that there is no personal spending in this binder, and that is because I use a separate personal binder and my wallet for that. The dark gray binder is for my personal expenses, and like what I said, it goes with my wallet. So I'm using these two for my personal spending. I made this change because I realized I never prioritized budgeting for myself in the past, And so I have decided for 2026 to separate my personal spending with my expenses and dedicate a specific binder for myself. Separating it will help me be more intentional about self care. My personal binder includes beauty and wellness, those categories. But let me show you the cash envelopes or the categories that I have in my personal binder. So like what I said earlier, this binder focuses on self-care. So the categories that you would see here are for me. So I have here nails, facials, hair. So hair is pretty much everything hair. Haircuts, waxing, threading, anything related to hair. Clothing, hobbies, dates. This envelope for dates is for me treating my friends, let's say to go out or just to buy coffee. That's basically date for me because I don't have a romantic partner. Buffer is basically like extra. If I need more money for other cash envelopes, buffer is there to save the day. There are other categories that are not in my personal binder because they are in my wallet. And these are these categories. I have spending, transpo, phone, and eating out. I keep these categories in my wallet because I always need to have these in my wallet every time I go out. So instead of keeping them in my binder, which would be very inconvenient for me, I decided to create dividers and put them in my wallet. So these two are for my personal spending. Next is my sinking funds binder. This one is my sinking funds binder. This is for non-monthly expenses like vet visits, emergencies, and future goals. So let me give you a tour of the categories that I have for my sinking funds. Just to give a heads up, for this specific binder, I am not rushing anything. I will be saving small amounts of money over time in these cash envelopes, in these categories. So when the time comes that I need the money for these categories, it will not be stressful for me to identify where to get the money from because I will slowly build up the funds for these categories. So I have here two types. I have the short term and the long term sinking funds. Let's start with the short term. Short term, I have dental, eye care, electronics. Electronics is the cash envelope dedicated to gadgets and other electronic items I might need. Vacation, health, and debt. Now for the long-term sinking funds, I have emergency, medical, pet emergency, travel, future home, future business, retirement, and home improvement. So the categories that I have in my sinking funds binder are straightforward. I also added the holiday binder. I know that I mentioned this in the last video that this binder was just created last year December. So this is the newest binder that I have. So this binder is dedicated to events, important events for me. This will help me prepare for those holidays, those expenses throughout the year. I only included holidays that matter to me, like birthdays. Oh, let's go through that. Like birthdays. The funds in the birthdays cash envelope are for gifts to the friends during their birthdays, excluding myself. Because I have my own envelope, which is the Pisces cash envelope. This is for my birthday. Mother's Day, of course, and then Father's Day, Christmas, and New Year's Eve. These are just the events and holidays that are important to me, so I'm saving up for them. The last binders are my savings challenges. I wanted saving to feel fun and motivating. And so I designed and created all of these challenges myself to fit my goals and lifestyle. So for my savings challenges binder, I have the brown leather one. I have here 3 minis. And then 1 series. And 1 big challenge. If you wanted to know more about the savings challenges that I have in these binders, along with those other challenges that I have created myself for 2026, feel free to watch the last video that I uploaded, the savings challenge binder setup and savings challenge tour. So there you have it. These are the binders that I have for 2026, and these are the same binders that I will be using for the entire year. Plus, of course, my wallet. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something from this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye for now.